Hey, how's it going, everyone? On this Tuesday, January 17th. Hope you all. I took a couple days off. Hope you all had a great weekend with the football and MLK Day. We had some great basketball games yesterday. We had some great football games. What great football games did we have, man? I mean, wow, man. Aaron Rodgers, and then a nice tug of war with the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was just a wonderful weekend for sports. Just to get into it, I want to recap my NBA day yesterday, and it was so. Starting off with the early games, what did I do early? Uh, early games. Let's see. Um, had a pretty productive day. Um, I, yesterday morning I just felt like I wanted to throw some darts, so I ended up throwing some darts. And this result right here in the four point play. Uh, we Yesterday, couple guys we got burned by Dwight Howard. Well, if you were paying attention to Twitter and injury news and notes and things like that around the league, maybe you didn't get burned. I didn't get burned. Luckily, I caught it. But life goes on. I did a 4 point play, as you see here at the bottom, and I cashed for $8. I can show you all the results and the lineup. Um, I had Jody Meeks, Sergio Rodriguez, Kuz, Anthony Davis. He got hurt. Nikola Jokic, monster Nikola Jokic, Dennis Schroeder, Embiid went crazy. Joakim Noah had a great game in that line. That's what I came away with in that lineup right there. Pretty really as long as you cash, there's nothing you can be mad about. Moving over to another one of my lineups. Let's see. Um, I almost took down a GPP yesterday. Uh, the let's see the Hot Shot 3 entry max, the $3 one. That's one where I really felt like I wanted to throw some darts because I couldn't pin down the slate like I wanted to, and I rarely throw some darts. So what I came away with. Jeff Teague. I always like to target guards against New Orleans. Tabo Sabalosha, he murdered my lineup. I could have did something else with that 3,900. I could have went back to Kuz, and that could have I probably could have took down this GPP. Kent Bazemore had a great game. MB, uh, Nika Jokic, Dennis Schroeder, Paul Millsap, Emmanuel Mudiay. He showed up and showed out yesterday. Helped me get closer to the top. I finished in eighth place for $100. Top. Uh, I was 10 points out of first place. I know if I could have switched to Kuz, and that would have gave me the top spot, courtesy of Emmanuel Mudiay. I just felt like Tabo was gonna have a pretty decent game, and it turns out he wet the bed. I'm very disappointed, but it's a new day. So, you know, that's just living proof that you can get to the top of these GPPs. And with that being said, I think I have another lineup that I can show you guys. What was it? Okay. Oh yeah, my late night main. It whiffed in GPPs. I cashed in a couple of my double ups. That was a good thing. All my Quins and all my one of my triple ups hit. Uh, yeah, one of my triple ups hit. What else did I do? Yeah, so that basically summed it up. Um, my my $27 entry did not cash. But like I said, hit a couple GPP. A couple cash games. Saved the bar a little bit. I finished with a total of 258. I had George Hill. He started off kind of slow, 8% on. He stood up. Clay started off slow as well. He finished kind of decent. Batum, he did what I wanted him to do. Exceeded value. That was great. Favors, he's somebody that I've just been waiting on. Waiting on to have that explosion game. DeAndre Jordan has just been on fire. Devin Booker, I was looking for more out of him, especially with Hood being out. Cantor didn't have a great game, and Zeller, he started off slow, but he did kind of like hit value. So I just missed the cash line on my 27 entry. I would have had a better night if I did cash. But that's how the cookie crumbles. That's what we play for. So jumping right into today's games, we got a great 5 game slate. I guess it's always great when you're able to play. You know, that's that's the beauty of DFS, especially basketball. There's always another day. So we got Houston and Miami coming in first. The first game on tap. Miami likes to pace it down. Phoenix, Houston likes to pace it up. So the totals for this game so far is 220. A semi-close game at Houston favored by 8. Well, 7.5. Right off the back, we know we got Harden on the slate in this game. I don't know if I'll be playing him. I might. I might end up fading Harden. Something that I've been doing uh, quite often. You know. Then you got Whiteside, Goran Dragic, James Johnson, Tyler Johnson, Deion Waiters. So these guys, they can, they're NBA players. They can make something happen. In an up-paced game like this, I just that Miami would try to, Houston would try to execute their game plan as being up-paced. If Miami doesn't dictate their pace of the game and they fall for the up-tempo side of things, there can be a lot of points scored in this game. We got Whiteside coming in at 8K, 8,400, and he's 8,500 on Fanduel. Somebody who I don't mind rostering. He's been burning people lately. Well, semi burning people here and there, up and down, whatever you want to call it. For that price tag, you want to at least try to get uppers of 40 or 50, and for him to hit value. So if you feel like that's that he can hit value somewhere in those guys' lines, go for it. I won't be mad at you, especially on a 5 game slate like this. You got to try to get in where you fit in. Goran Dragic makes for an interesting play. He'll be faced up against Patrick Beverly. I'm worried about his assist totals as of late. They haven't been very high. This might be a game where I think he can get um, over 5 assists. Upward. I want to see him at least up in the 8 assist range. Uh, he does get buckets. He'll be in a tough matchup, but on a slate like this, I probably wouldn't worry about too much defensive matchups. And then again, you could, but there's always an alternative on this team, just like Tyler. It's two interesting plays at the guard position when you're looking at Tyler Johnson and Dion Waiters. Tyler Johnson, his price has crept up, but he's 5,600 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel he is 6,400. So there's an 800 difference. You can pick and choose what site you want to play him on, and he's been kind of consistent, man. Look at his numbers in the pace game like this. Rockets are not known for their defense. He can, be an alternative, and if you want a piece of this game, he's been very decent, exceeding value almost every game in the last 4 or 5. He's been doing great. So the upside is there. We know he had 40-point upside. So there you have it. On Dion Waiters, interesting play as well, especially on this slate. He's 5,300 on DraftKings, and then on FanDuel he is 5,200, right around the same price. He will be chunking it up. Especially, he might draw the matchup with James Harden. If he can stay out of foul trouble, there's plenty shot opportunities for him. As you can see, his last 2 games, he went 4 for 17 and 5 for 17. So he is not afraid to chunk it up, and that's someone you could consider as well. James Johnson, priced at 6,100 on FanDuel, on DraftKings, and he's 5,900 on FanDuel. Someone who's been playing phenomenal this year. I don't mind the pick. I don't know what the starting lineups will look like in Miami, but he's been logging up some pretty nice minutes, 38, 30, 27, 34. He's scoring a little bit, a little bit of peripherals here and there, and like I said, if this game can be up paced, then it can be a lot of damage being done in this game. I think really we will be back this game, so that's something to look at on Miami side of things. On Houston side of things, you're looking at James Harden, Eric Gordon. These your bread and butter guys right here. One to the starting 5. These 6 guys right here, the top 6 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be interesting to see what type of starting lineup will they roll out. Will they roll out Montrezl Harrell at the center position, Nene at the center position? But that's something to remain to be seen. Eric Gordon coming off the bench, having a great year. The defense in Miami, especially at the guard position, the 2 guard position is really bad. As you can see, Eric Gordon has been tearing it up lately. He's priced at 5,800 on DraftKings and 5,800 on FanDuel. He's been hitting and exceeding value lately, and just been on a tear. So he's somebody that you can look at. His minutes are there, safe and secure. Just pieces of the this is a big puzzle, and if you don't feel like paying up for James Harden, you can grab pieces of these puzzles. Trevor Ariza had a great game last game. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 43 fantasy points at 5,400. His price risen up to 5,600. Someone who I almost never play. He's 5,800 on Fanduel. But he has some of the safest minutes. Anybody in the league plays upwards of 30 minutes, 40 on great nights. On good nights, he's just logged in the minutes. He has that um, a small forward spot on lock. Somebody who I don't mind today. Moving on to Patrick Beverly, and his price has risen as well. But DraftKings have been fluctuating, so today his price is down. So he's at 5,500, and on DraftKings on FanDuel he's at 5,300. Again, somebody who logs a ton of minutes. He does a little of everything. That utility guy where he can get you 20, 30 fantasy points and don't have to score that many buckets. He'll be faced off with Gordon Dragic today. And then you have Montrezl Harrell, Ryan Anderson, nice GPP options. If they roll out Montrezl Harrell, he'll have a tough matchup, as well as Nene. Both of these guys have a problem on their hand with Whiteside and Town. Overall, it's a basketball game, so it should be something good. Hopefully, Miami can keep it close, and then we get to see some good fantasy production out of that game. Moving over to the Toronto and Brooklyn game, these two teams just met a few games ago. They'll be at Brooklyn this time, and Toronto favored by 11 with a total of 227. On the Brooklyn side of things, I guess we'll have Jerry Lin. If we don't hear anything, I guess he'll still be out. Brook Lopez coming in at 6,300. Last game he had a decent fantasy output with 20 points. The rebounds are never there for him. 5 assists, a block, a steal. 34 fantasy points, and that was pretty good. He's been kind of consistent in the 30-point fantasy point range. Lately, that upside he hasn't been showing it that we know that he has. So maybe he shows a little bit more flashes of upsides. This game. He's taken at least about 5 or 6 3-pointers a game. This last game he only took 3 threes with that bonus on DraftKings, that 3-point bonus. He can get hot, I know he can do that. But moving along, Trevor Booker, last time these two teams met, I thought Trevor Booker would have had a better game than he had. But it seems it didn't pan out that way. He had 20 fantasy points. It is what it is. 27 minutes. On a short slate, almost anything goes. They're at home. I usually like to target Toronto with at the power forward slot, but Toronto have been starting Nogueira lately, and that probably played a part in his fantasy output, and Trevor Booker's fantasy output. Bogdanovich, Sean Kilpatrick, Hollis Jefferson, Justin Hamilton, these guys are just movers and shakers. If you want to use one of these guys to help you get another high-priced guy, or, because the minutes are sporadic, you don't know what you're going to get out of these guys, and they're just good for GPP options for me. Moving over to the Toronto side of the ball, Kyle Lowry, DeRozan, Val, interesting play. Um, he had a very good game. He played 28 minutes. He went 6 of 11. No, he played 25 minutes last game. 10 rebounds, 14 points. He had a double-double. At 5,900 at the time, he had 33 fantasy points. Someone who I just can't, I get on him, get off him, get on him, get off him. But it's just he's the third wheel over there, and the usage, it's not super. His usage is not super high, but if he can get in there and get his quickly. If he can get his quickly, he can get it, quickly and efficiently. And, he's priced at 6,200 on DraftKings. And on Fanduel, he's priced around the same, I'd imagine. He's 6K, so he's got to give us at least 30 for us to keep a smile on our face. Against a team like this, we love to see him go upwards of 40. But he's battling DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry for touches and usage production. Loving Kyle Lowry in the matchup. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan have great matchups. Carroll, he's an interesting play. His minutes are there. We'll have to keep an eye out on Patterson, because if Patterson doesn't play, that plugs in Nogueira at the power forward. He gets the start. And he makes for a decent option. And, he'll be coming in at 4,100. He's been, playing some nice minutes, and those starts that he's been getting and producing, kind of well. New York, he didn't produce like we thought he would, and he had more minutes, but in that Brooklyn game, he did pretty well. We all know Brooklyn don't rebound the ball well. So he has a price of 4,100, and he's got to give us at least 20, the low 20s. But we love to see that upside of that 30. Especially if he gets to start. So keep an eye on Patterson in this one. Terrence Ross, Corey Joseph, GPP options. Given the time, Carroll, his minutes have been so secured as of late. His price is creeping up at 4,200. He's coming around though. This is the Carroll that we've been liking to see. I've been riding him, and I'm glad I've been benefiting from that. Now he has to give us 25, upwards of 25. We would really like to see at least 30. But he has been hitting and exceeding value as of late. Last time these two teams met, he went for 34, almost 35 fantasy points. So there you have it. But that Patrick Patterson injury is key. So we have to keep an eye on that. Now let's go on over here to the Chicago and Dallas game. Supposed to be a slow-paced game. Dallas like to keep the pace low. Total is not even 200. It's at 196. They have Chicago Bulls favored by 6. A few things that you can get to like about this game. And I'm gonna start on the Dallas side of the ball. They're on the road. Interesting matchups. What type of lineup? First of all, we'll have to figure out what type of lineup will Dallas be rolling out. We have injuries to Bogut. He's out indefinitely. Powell has been playing a low total of minutes. I don't know what's going on with that situation. JJ Barea, we know he's a heater. No matter what pace of the game it is, he can turn it up. You have to keep an eye out for this guy. He's efficient. So he had 17 minutes here against Atlanta, 22 fantasy points. 14 minutes. He didn't do so well. in Minnesota. 19 minutes in Phoenix, didn't do so well. Tough defensive matchup. Minnesota, 17 minutes. He came back. He was at home. He went 5-5 field goals. In the couple minutes that he had, 1 for 1 for 3-point range and 22 fantasy points. Somebody who can really heat up. But I was just pointing that out. Wesley Matthews minutes are safe. We know that. Darren Williams, interesting play. Chicago in the point guard position. They have been giving up some nice amount of points to the point guard position. So Darren Williams, stand around that 5.9K, 6K range, not too much going over. On Fanduel, he's 6,400, so you can mix and match what site you want to play him on. I don't mind. He's somebody who I don't mind. The boy, he knows how to play basketball. They're getting healthy. He doesn't have to score much. He can get assists. His peripherals helps out with with that low price, and he got to give us almost 30, and we know he has the upside, and that's what we're looking for. And I think he's a very nice play today. He can heat it up. He can score if he has to. And like I said, they're getting healthy with Dirk on the court. Look at his assist totals. They're going up. So that's somebody that, I can be looking to roster. I love Darren Williams at 5,900. Dirk Nowitzki, last game, like he's another guy. He's at 6,100. Very nice price at the moment. On FanDuel, he's at 5,700. He can cause matchup problems. They've been playing him at the center position, so that's rebounding opportunities for him. Last game they played against Minnesota, they just basically took care of Minnesota at home, and that was a good thing for Dirk. I had Karl Anthony Towns that game, and I thought he'd do better. Anyway, Dirk is a great play to me. We all know Dirk's history in the NBA and what he can do, so I definitely don't mind Dirk getting a piece of this game for cheap. You can stack him and Darren Williams. I don't see any problem with that for cheap. But moving along, interesting lineups that they've been rolling out. Lately, they've been rolling out Darren Williams, Curry, Matthews at the 3, Harrison Barnes at the 4, and Dirk at the 5. Not a lot of defense there, especially interior-wise. With that being said, Seth Curry, he has a tough matchup. GPP option only. Minutes have been up. Production was okay a couple games ago, but it is what it is. Devin Harris. Dallas are just so cluttered with these little guards. It's just ridiculous. It wouldn't be a bad thing if they could have made a move for another big guy. I mean, they have Salah Mejri. I don't know what's going on with the big situation, though. I'm really disappointed that they don't play Powell as much as I think he should be played, but to each his own. Moving over to Chicago side of things. Interesting. Now, I just pointed out the lineups that Dallas have been rolling out. Like I said, Darren Williams at the 1, Seth Curry at the 2, Matthews at the 3, at the 4 they've been playing Harrison Barnes, and at the 5 they've been playing Dirk Nowitzki. If they decide to roll out a lineup like that again today, that makes a great play for me, in my opinion, for Dwayne Wade. He's coming in at 6,500 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel he's at 7K. We know what old man Wade can do. In a favorable matchup like that, if they decide to bring him roll out that lineup and probably throw Curry on him, it's a mismatch. But like I say, we know what Wade can do. He can turn it up. He's been hitting and exceeding value every time out, and every time out like the last 4 or 5 games, and that's what you want, man. That's what we want here in Chicago. I love it. Jimmy Butler, his price is up there. He'll probably draw the matchup with either with probably Matthews to start. Someone he's got to give us 45, 46, something like that to hit value. You know, more than capable of doing it. They'll looks like the Bulls will be at full strength minus Mirotic. So it remains to be seen, man. Somebody who I probably who I probably won't play, but he makes for an interesting play. Then you have Taj Gibson, Michael Carter Williams, Robin Lopez. He's an interesting play. He looks like at 4,200, the last couple games he's been stepping his game up for that price. At 4K he's been hitting and exceeding value. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row. Hopefully he's found his groove. Somebody who I don't mind playing. The minutes can be there. He has Felicio knocking on his door. He's been probably getting up probably about 10 to 15 minutes a game. So his minutes have been rising. They can be a little versatile when they roll Taj Gibson out at the center in Chicago. So that's something to keep a look at, an eye out on. That kind of enables them to match up how they want to match up with certain teams. Rajon Rondo's getting the lower end of 20 minutes. Jerian Grant, he's been getting minutes lately, but not somebody who I have been looking to play. But at 3,500, to each his own. Somebody that I'm not on. Doug McDermott shocked the world against Memphis last game. No one seen that coming. A game where I felt like he was supposed to be faded, and then he came out off the bench and just murdered my feelings. But somebody who's in playing GPPs always, I would say. And that's about it, man. Michael Carter Williams had a pretty decent game last game as well. 30 fantasy points, 4,300. He's been doing semi all right though. I'll say all right. His last 3 out of 4 was all right. So there you have it. Michael Carter Williams is an interesting play. He'll be, if he decided to step his offensive game up, especially against Darren Williams, he has a height advantage, and that's probably something that he can take advantage of if he's a little bit more aggressive offensively. And like I said, the interior would be probably kind of wide open in this game, especially if they don't decide to roll out somebody like Mejri. Wade is kind of aggressive to the basket. Jimmy Butler is aggressive to the basket. If Michael Carter Williams could kind of get aggressive to the basket, then that will definitely open up something for him. The shot attempts are there for him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The shot attempts are there. If he can get at least 10 a game, because that'll make pretty good. I love to see his assist totals go up as well. His rookie year and things like that, he was getting triple doubles and things like that. So I love to see that form back in Chicago. Zipser, he got the start last game. Somebody who I'm not on, where he was out. So Anyway, going over to the next game, we have Minnesota and San Antonio. Now, this is an interesting game here. Last time these two teams met, I believe, I forgot what happened last time these two teams met. Anyway, looking at the Minnesota side of things, you got Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine is finally back healthy. Andrew Wiggins, Ricky Rubio, Gorgie Jane, and the list goes on. Ricky Rubio, someone who doesn't have to score a lot of points to get his point across. He's been hitting and exceeding value. Got a little scared last game, thought he wasn't going to hit value, even though I didn't even have him. He's priced the same. Well, he's priced around the same. He's $5,900 on DraftKings and $6K on Fanduel. Like I said, someone who I don't mind plugging in, especially as how he's been playing as of late. I just, sometimes I figure if it ain't broke, I guess you don't have to fix it. This little 8, 14, 10, 13 points, I feel like if that's what he can score, I feel like he can get that probably on any team, against any team. So I'm okay with that. As long as his assist totals are staying where they're supposed to be, then I think he should be fine. His steal totals, I don't know if he'll be able to get that many steals against a team like this, but who knows? Andrew Wiggins, he has a tough matchup. He's coming in at 6K. They just want you to take a stab at him. He's 6,500 on FanDuel. He did not have a good game last time these two teams met. Fantasy output last time these two teams met, he played 38 minutes and he produced 16 fantasy points. And we know he's facing Kawhi Leonard, and he can have trouble. Someone an interesting play, Zach LaVine here. Now he'll be he'll have Danny Green, someone that they're gonna need to step up. So they'll need Zach LaVine to step up. I imagine it'll be somewhat similar to last game. He is 6K on both sites, and last time these two teams met, he went for played 38 minutes. He had 25 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers for 28.6 fantasy points. So as you can see, he's someone that they'll be needing to step up in that backcourt scoring wise. So he's an interesting play tonight. And as for Towns, he's 9,300 on DraftKings and On Fanduel, he's 9,400. Priced similar to the same. Last time these two teams met, he went for 30. He played 37 minutes and went for 35 fantasy points. Gorgie Jing, uh, he's coming in at 6K. No, what's his price? 5,200 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is priced around the same, 5,100. And the last time these two teams met, he went for I think upwards of 30 fantasy points. Let's see. He had 28 fantasy points, so kind of like, if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of like a tug of war game. You know what you get when when you're playing San Antonio. But you know they were at home in Minnesota, so it is what it is. On the San Antonio side of things, interesting stuff going on here. Patty Mills should be back this game. Murray, I believe he'll be out. Uh, so, you know, the point guard situation over there is kind of shifty. Tony Parker, crafty. We know he's crafty. Take a look at his minutes. Been going up and down. Pop is just Popovich, man. I don't know what to say. Who he wants to be aggressive, and you know, I thought he wanted Tony Parker to start coming out with the aggressiveness, but you know, it is what it is. Danny Green, GPP option, Manu Ginobili as well. Keep an eye on the point guard situations, and sometimes Ginobili can be in play, given injuries. Kawhi Leonard, Aldridge, Gasol, the top three on this on this team. Kawhi Leonard, 8,800, almost up to 9K. We know he can chunk it. He can play with the best of them. He's got to give us probably around 45. Something we know he, you know, that's not, you know, we know he can pull that off. It's just about will he pull it off. Last time these two teams met, he had 31 real points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a turnover for 41 fantasy points. I'm quite sure he hit value around that time. That was the 6th of February of December. He'll be out there. Someone who I don't mind, actually. Aldridge, he absolutely wet the bed last time these teams met. 6,600 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel is about 7,100. And like I said, they'll be at home, so you might see a different Spurs team. But as far as I'm concerned, his last game he really wet the bed. Don't know his price around that time, but the production, he's been on a roller coaster this year. Last time these two teams met, he played 30 minutes and had 11 fantasy points, 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 steals. That sucked with 3 turnovers. That was just bad. That was just bad, man, real bad. And then, as you can see, his last 2 games, he's been funking it up. 20 points there, 20 fantasy points there. I had him one of those games. He is just so frustrating most of the time. I mean, I don't know what to say. Pau Gasol, 5,700. Someone who flies under the radar, makes for a good GPP option. He'll probably be battling Towns down there in the paint, and 6,400 on FanDuel. Last time these two teams met, he had 11.7 rebounds, 1 assist, and one turnover for 20 fantasy points. So as you can see, last time these two teams met, it was kind of grinded out. They a kind of a grind out game. So it is what it is. You know, I'll come back to this game if I have the likes of anyone, and I'll give you guys who I like. Just want to keep things moving. Going over here to the Denver and LA game. This one has the highest total on the slate. Well, yeah, by 0.5, with total coming in at 227.5. Lakers by 2. Interesting. It's a lot to love about this game. Denver has been running up the score as of late. Yes, I love that. Nikola Jokic, he's just been an absolute monster. I always roster this guy. I mean, he's been staying out of foul trouble, and he hasn't let me down. Very, 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 very good. Yeah, so very, very, very good basketball player, man. But we'll get into that. Let's just go over to the Lakers side of things. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game. You got Julius Randle topping it off. D'Angelo Russell, Lou Williams, Lou Altang, Jordan Clarkson. Keep an eye out for the injury reports. Clarkson is questionable. So it's a lot to like about this game. If Vegas, proves us right, you'll want a piece of this game, and I absolutely like what's going on here. Especially on the Denver side of the ball, but we're focused on the Lakers side of the ball right now. This game, interesting play here, Lou Williams. His minutes kind of revved up here and there. I think they're gonna have to play him a little bit more. He had an awesome game last game, 26 points. Someone who I think they'll probably need his scoring output tonight. I could be wrong, but as high powered as Denver has been as of late, I think his services will be needed at 4,300 on Fanduel. On DraftKings, and then he's sporting around a similar price tag on FanDuel. He's coming in at 4,600. So that's someone to keep an eye out. D'Angelo Russell, last time these two teams met, he had a monster game. He'll probably be going up against Moutier, and then Jameer Nelson will be backing up Moutier probably, and there's just no defense there. So he's someone who definitely has a good matchup. There's a price discrepancy here as he's 6K on FanDuel, and he's 7K on DraftKings. So they kind of help you decide which site it would be better for you to play him on. Now moving on to Julius Randle. I just don't know. It's a possibility he can have a tough matchup. Yesterday, Nuggets rolled out Kevin Fareed. So with that being said, you'll have Jokic down there. Julius Randle is probably somebody who I won't be on. I probably can find some power forward production somewhere else on this slate, but I just don't know about rostering him. I can't say if he's going to do good or bad. Jordan Clarkson, But, in game total like this, anything can happen. But, Jordan Clarkson, keep an eye out on him and his injury situation. He gets minutes and, at 4,100, he can make for a great value in a up-paced game. So keep an eye out for that injury situation. So, Nick Young, Brandon Ingram, GPP options, and there you have it. Now, moving over to the, you know what though? Interesting play. If you got the guts and the nuts, and if you think they'll have to use them, you got Timothy Mozgov. Let's check out what he's been doing as of late. 22 minutes, 21 minutes, 10 minutes. He's coming in at the minimum. Now, if you think he'd be going up against Jokic and Nurkic, two big 7-footers, if they feel like his services will be needed, then they will give him the minutes. Let's go on. Let's see what teams he had minutes against in the last few. He had 38 minutes against Memphis, against a Gasol, someone who they need they need his services. 30 minutes against Orlando, against Vucevic, someone where they needed his services badly. So that might be a trend. I'm guessing they'll need his services tonight. Worth a GPP flyer probably. If you just want to make a separate line and toss them in there, I'm not mad at you. But coming in at 3K, we know he has 30-point upside, and he might be needed. So there you have it. Now going over to the Denver side of the ball, pretty juicy game. Denver, they've been balling lately, blowing folks out. You got Nikola Jokic headlining this one, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, and the list goes on. Gary Harris, he's probably going to be out or looking towards being doubtful for the next game. So that opened up playing time for Will Barton, and interesting play, Will Barton. So keep an eye out on him. He's coming in at 5,600 on Fanduel. On DraftKings, and on Fanduel he's sitting there at Barton 4,800. So about an 800 difference. When I attack the Lakers, sometimes most of the times I'll say probably I like to hit them from the center and the power center position, and that's where Jokic and Gallinari come in at. Last time these two teams met, they were going through their Nurkic, Nurkic thing, and actually Nurkic had a great game. So Jokic, they just had him sitting on the bench rotting. So I love Jokic, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari. I just like what's going on in Denver. Just gotta pick and choose, and you gotta nail down the right plays. But I like what's going on. Wilson Chandler, an interesting play. We just like to see what type of starting lineup they'll be rolling out. I'm quite sure they might start Kenneth Fareed again, which had an absolute he had an absolute great game yesterday. 33 fantasy points in 33 minutes. And then versus Indiana, he only played 16 16 minutes and gave up almost 30 fantasy and got almost 30 fantasy points. So if you know basketball, you know what he can do. It's just about giving minutes. Nurkic at 3,300 minutes has been down because Jokic has been showing out. He's been proving why he's the best center over there, and something that I already knew. And Jokic is he's just one of those guys now where I'm just like, he's self-explanatory. I mean, there's nothing, I don't have, what else can I say? He's very efficient, especially yesterday and every game. He went 13 for 19, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 30 points, and his peripherals is there. For a big man, he's getting at least, look, his last 5, he's getting at least 5 assists a game. That's great. And look at him, he's just a good basketball player, man, at the 5, man, and someone who I don't plan on fading. Emmanuel Mudiay, shout out to him yesterday. Helped me get that money. He played great. He had 13 assists, 4 fouls, 18 points. That was a double-double right there. 46.5 fantasy points. I don't know what made me throw him in the lineup, but it worked out. He had a pretty decent game last time these teams met. Still a GPP option for me, but if he can stay consistent, man, it is what it is. And Jameer Nelson, he played the backup point guard yesterday against his old team. It looks like they gave him a little narrative revenge factor and bumped him up an extra 10 minutes. He went 7 for 10 from the field goal, from the field, and then he gave up. He produced 31 fantasy points. Last few games, he's been actually doing well around minimum price, and as somebody, another low on flyer. Low cost flyer. So at this point in time, I'm just gonna go through some teams, and I'm gonna give you a few players that I like from these teams. From each game, a play or two or whatever. Starting off with the Miami and Houston game, I can see. I don't mind Whiteside. I might be fade Harden. I might not fade Harden. He's an excellent play on any given day. Tyler Johnson, Eric Gordon, I think Deion Waiters, I think those guys are nice options. It's a lot of nice options if we can get that pace-up game. But, that one person I like in this game would be Hassan Whiteside. Toronto and Brooklyn. In that Miami game, I wouldn't mind some Tyler Johnson either. So just to throw that out there, if you want a cheap piece of that game, Toronto and Brooklyn. Between the likes of Valanciunas, Brook Lopez, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, I just really like to see the injury report. If the injury report is out, and Patterson doesn't play, then I like Nogueira. A nice cheap option, so keep an eye on that. Patrick Patterson out, you can pivot to Nogueira. Maybe if Patrick Patterson's in, I might consider Trevor Booker. But keep an eye on that situation. Dallas and Chicago. Dirk can cause a matchup problem. I said I don't have no problem with Dirk. Darren Williams, I don't have a problem with him. Depending on the starting lineup they roll out, I don't have a problem with Lopez. But my favorite play would probably be Dwayne Wade. So there you have it. Moving over to the Minnesota and San Antonio side of things. San Antonio will be at home. And with that being said, oh my God. Man. It's hard for me to say in this game. I'm going to have to stick with the Kawhi Leonard theory. And I might sprinkle a little. Sprinkle a little Rubio on top. So that's that. Tony Parker is an interesting play, and Zach LaVine is an interesting play as well. We all know what Towns can do. Moving along, my favorite play in this game, the last game, the hammer game, will be Nikola Jokic coming in at number 1. And number 2, my number 2 favorite play of this game probably would be D'Angelo Russell. And coming in at number 3 would probably be Danilo Gallinari. And with that being said, folks, man, good luck. I hope you guys win some money tonight, man. Check out my links, my Firstdown Facebook page in the description. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. My Facebook group is down there. Just enjoy yourselves today. Play responsibly, man. Can't stress that enough. And guess what, folks? I'm out of there. Good luck.